Total Sports Zone. All sports, all action, one zone.
You know, when a voice as big as Dale Earnhardt Jr. speaks up, pretty much the entire world of motorsports stops and listens. And right now, he's got some pretty serious concerns about where NASCAR is headed. And it's all because of one single controversial new rule. So let's get into it and break down what's really going on here. So where did all this start? Well, they kicked off with just a single, pretty blunt comment. But it was a comment so direct, it basically put NASCAR's entire new rule book right under the microscope.
Yep, that's it. Just 6 words. But, you know, when those words come from a Hall of Famer, they carry a ton of weight. This wasn't some long, drawn-out rant. It was a clear shot across the bow, and it made everyone immediately ask,
So what's he so worked up about, right? To really get to the bottom of his criticism, we've got to look at the rule that started this whole thing. It sounds kind of technical. It's called an OEM provisional. But believe me, its implications are huge. All right, so let's dive into the rule at the very heart of this debate. It's a provision that's really designed to do one thing: help new car manufacturers break into the top level of stock car racing. First things first, what the heck is an OEM? Well, it just stands for Original Equipment Manufacturer. And in the world of NASCAR, that means the big brands. You know, your Fords, your Chevys, your Toyotas, the folks who actually build the cars. The whole point of this new rule is to get more of those big names to join the party. Okay, so how is NASCAR going to entice them to show up? Well, they're creating a kind of safety net. This new rule basically offers a guaranteed starting spot for any new manufacturer, even if their cars, aren't quite up to speed to qualify on their own yet. So here's the breakdown of how it works. Let's say a new car brand shows up, they're all excited, but they just aren't fast enough to qualify for the race. Bummer, right? Well, under this rule, they get a guaranteed spot anyway, at least for the first couple of races of the season. This lets them get some super valuable track time, some experience, and even earn championship points. Now, there is a catch. They don't get any prize money for that race. But still, they're in the show. And this right here brings us straight back to Dale Jr.'s criticism. Because for him, and honestly for a lot of racing purists out there, this rule just goes against a really fundamental principle of what it means to compete. This quote, man, it really gets to the core of his argument. For Dale Jr., that struggle to qualify, to find that speed, is like a rite of passage. It's all about earning your place on that grid. He's basically saying that if he were a new team, he'd want to prove he belongs, not just get a free pass handed to him. Yeah, it all really boils down to the integrity of the whole competition. From his perspective, every single car on that starting grid should have had to fight for its place. You know? When you start just guaranteeing spots, it kind of devalues the incredible achievement of every team that did manage to qualify on pure merit. Now look, to be fair, NASCAR has used these kinds of provisional spots before, but, and this is a really key difference, they're almost always reserved for past champions. We're talking legends of the sport, guys like Jimmy Johnson, not for brand new, totally unproven teams. And that distinction, that's really at the heart of this whole debate. And what's so fascinating here is that this isn't just some one-off opinion for Dale Jr. Nope, it's actually part of a really consistent philosophy he has about what fair racing should look like. And that becomes super clear when you look at his views on some other big NASCAR changes recently. Yeah, his take on this whole OEM rule, it lines up perfectly with his thoughts on another massive change NASCAR made not too long ago, the championship playoff format. So, he was a pretty vocal critic of the old playoff system, the one that was often called win and you're in. You remember that? That whole format meant a driver could just get one lucky win and suddenly have a shot at the championship. He's a much bigger fan of the newer format, which rewards consistency over a super grueling 36-race season. He argues it crowns a more deserving champion in the end. This quote pretty much sums up his entire mindset. He's honest enough to say, hey, the old system was exciting, and yeah, it could have even benefited him personally, but he still believes the new way is just fundamentally fairer. For him, it's always going to be about rewarding consistent excellence. But he's not naive about the incentives, not at all. He totally acknowledged that the old win and you're in system had a massive financial carrot dangling at the end of it. A single win could pocket a team an extra $2 million just for making the playoffs. I mean, that is a huge, huge deal for any race team. So, when you put it all together, right, a really clear philosophy starts to emerge. It doesn't matter if you're a brand new team just trying to get into a race or a seasoned veteran fighting for a title, Dale Jr. believes you gotta earn it. He consistently sides with pure merit-based competition over any kind of shortcut or gimmick. And this really brings us to the central conflict, doesn't it? The big tension at the heart of this entire discussion.
And honestly, it's a battle that pretty much every major professional sport has to deal with.
This slide really lays out that fundamental tension perfectly. On one side, you've got NASCAR's goal, which is growth. They need to lower the barrier to entry to attract new brands and all the investment that comes with them. But on the other side, you have that purist's view, championed by voices like Dale Jr., that says the integrity of the competition, that earn your spot principle, is what makes the sport so special in the first place.
And that leaves us with the million-dollar question, doesn't it? Where exactly do you draw the line? Is it better to lower the barrier to entry to make sure the sport is healthy and growing for the long term? Or do you protect that earn your spot tradition that has defined it for decades? There's definitely no easy answer here, but it's a debate that is absolutely going to shape the future of NASCAR.